Disney's own sweetheart Rachel Zegler has now set her fury towards them because they have fired her from multiple positions. Mind you, with this she's losing over $1 million after Disney's decision. Honestly, it's not hard to see why Zegler's every comment feels like another final straw for a company already struggling to win back fan trust. It's as if Disney is reaping what they've sown, a bitter harvest of bad decisions and worse PR.
Animators are on shaky ground.
Yes, correct.
What happened with the actor strike? Did they settle?
This drama has now reached a tipping point, and even Joe Rogan couldn't resist throwing his hat in the ring. Back in August 2024, Disney dropped the first teaser for their live-action Snow White on YouTube. It could have been a triumphant moment, a chance to showcase their next big hit. Instead, it became a historic disaster. Within days, the teaser racked up nearly 1 million dislikes, making it the most disliked movie trailer in YouTube's history. Just last week, they dropped a new trailer which has also received over 1 million dislikes on YouTube, 720k on Disney's own channel, and 400k on where it was leaked before official release. The comment section wasn't any kinder. One user sarcastically quipped, "I came here purely because I saw on Facebook that this video has over 1 million down votes and I wanted to be part of that community." Another joke, "Wow Disney, it took you $29 million, multiple rewrites, and unnecessary CGI for me to enjoy the comment section of a movie I'll never watch. Bless you." The sentiment was brutal and crystal clear. Fans were furious, annoyed, and done with Disney's efforts to promote woke agendas. So what went so horribly wrong? Fans point to a baffling mix of casting choices and creative decisions that seemed almost designed to alienate the audience. For starters, instead of featuring the beloved Seven Dwarfs, Disney announced plans to use diverse magical creature features. It didn't take long for that to backfire. Spectacularly, actors with dwarfism publicly called out the studio for excluding them, accusing Disney of using diversity as a buzzword while sidelining an already underrepresented group.
Actors that live, that dream to be in a major motion picture such as this Disney remake. And now, because Peter Dinklage said what he said last year, now it's
and here comes Rachel Zegler. The actress herself is no less than a curse for Disney. When the company first cast her as Snow White, the reaction was cautiously optimistic, but that optimism didn't last long. In a now infamous interview, Zegler dismissed the 1937 original as extremely dated and criticized its romance, calling it creepy and weird for fans who grew up cherishing the classic. Her comments felt like a slap in the face. It wasn't just a critique that hurt fans badly, it was her arrogant and abusive tone, which came off as disrespectful to the original creators and the generations who adored their work. Instead of stepping in to defuse the situation, Disney appeared to double down, letting Zegler's critiques go unchallenged. If anything, they seemed to lean into her narrative further, betraying her loyal fan base. It means intentionally destroying their own business. The situation worsened when a 2022 interview resurfaced, where Zegler admitted she avoided the animated classic for over a decade because it scared her as a child. She went on to describe it as extremely dated in its portrayal of women and promised the remake would redefine the phrase "fairest of them all" to focus on justice rather than beauty. Depending on who you ask, this was either a modern twist or yet another jab at the original's legacy.
Disney wants to make more woke films that tank at the box office. They are more than welcome to do that, but maybe think of an original idea. Maybe not destroy a classic from my childhood and put an actress in there that not only hates the plot and the
Social media, especially TikTok, just erupted with outrage from fans. Comparisons to Halle Berry, the star of Disney's The Little Mermaid, were everywhere. Bailey had managed to respect the original story while making the role her own, earning widespread praise. In clear contrast, Zegler's stupid attitude came off as outright disdain for the source material. Fans are now asking, how can someone who didn't even appreciate Snow White as a child, and still seems to harbor such deep reservations, successfully embody one of Disney's most iconic characters? But let's be real, this storm isn't just about Rachel Zegler's comments, it's about what Disney's repeated missteps reveal about their approach to reimagining beloved classics. And as Joe Rogan recently pointed out, the fallout has been nothing short of massive. Zegler, for her part, has painted herself as a victim of relentless online harassment. She claims the constant scrutiny is simply part of the package when you're in the public eye, no matter what you say or do. Fair enough, but the most dramatic thing is she has forgotten her role in stirring up all these controversies time and again. Zegler kept feeding her feud against fans with statements or actions that reignited the outrage. It's almost clockwork at this point. Every few weeks she finds herself back in the hot seat, dragging the already doomed Snow White remake further into the abyss.
Interview clip that you read the quote from, but she's gone on to talk about this film numerous times, how she once thought Snow White was creepy, she doesn't like the prince, she thinks she should get paid more because she has to wear that dress.
Take her infamous Instagram meltdown for example. In a since-deleted story, Zegler expressed heartbreak over a fictional scenario in which Donald Trump defeated Kamala Harris in a presidential race. "I hope Trump voters, Trump supporters, and Trump himself never know peace," she wrote. That's a bold statement, to say least, and it didn't sit well with a significant chunk of the public. Critics labeled her comments as unhinged, while others outright called her a liability for Disney. Then came her open criticism of Elon Musk, urging fans to abandon Twitter entirely, get off Elon's app. She posted for her fans, igniting even more hate and estranging even more audiences. For some, her outspokenness is a refreshing display of authenticity. For others, it's yet another example of why she's a polarizing figure who seems ill-suited to lead a family-friendly Disney project. But let's not stop at her political commentary. Zegler has a history of stirring the pot even in lighter moments. Remember her dramatic reading of Britney Spears' tweets during the singer's very public feud with her sister. While Zegler likely thought she was being playful, fans of Spears found the act Tony, especially given the gravity of the #Britney Britney movement. Additionally, we also have a 2022 Academy Awards controversy purely attributed to this cursed Disney princess. Zegler took to social media to express her frustration about not being invited despite starring in West Side Story, a film that earned 7 nominations, including Best Picture. While some sympathized, others criticized her approach, pointing out that plenty of actors have faced similar snubs without airing their grievances so publicly. It wasn't the lack of an invitation that raised eyebrows, it was the way she handled it, which many found unprofessional. Simply speaking, Zegler has become one of the most hated female actresses in Hollywood due to her destructive behavior towards Snow White. Fans and critics alike are still wondering whether Disney can afford to stick by her, or if they'll eventually have to cut ties. And speaking of Disney, their attempts to salvage the Snow White project have been equally disastrous. They recently dropped a new trailer only to pull it down shortly after, sparking even more speculation. It's like they're stuck in a never-ending cycle of self-sabotage. Leaked set photos from 2022 didn't help matters. The images showed a reimagining of the 7 dwarfs, swapping out actors with dwarfism for a diverse group of performers of varying heights and body types. While Disney claimed they consulted with the dwarfism community to avoid perpetuating stereotypes, the damage was already done. Critics accused the studio of pandering to political correctness, and fans felt like yet another beloved element of the original story had been stripped away.
You don't have to disparage men in the process. You don't have to call Prince Charming a stalker. You don't have to say that you could just eliminate him from the whole movie. I mean, there is a space where you can have strong females and strong males. It's called the real world, or, at least some places.
At this point, many are openly rooting for the evil queen rather than Snow White. Some even argue that the villain looks more compelling than the film's protagonist, which isn't exactly a great look for Disney. Even former Imagineers have chimed in, suggesting the studio should skip a theatrical release altogether and drop the film on Disney Plus to minimize the backlash. And then there's Joe Rogan's take, which unsurprisingly cuts right to the point. It might be better for Disney to just release this on Disney Plus and avoid the backlash, he said on a recent episode. Bold words, but honestly they might not be far off the mark, with negativity surrounding the film only growing. The idea of a traditional box office release is looking more and more like a gamble Disney can't afford to take. Let us know in the comments below what you think about this clash between fans and Disney. Remember to subscribe for more videos with the latest updates on woke Snow White. See you in the next one, and if you have any ideas for videos yourself, please let us know. We would love to hear from you.